Victor looked at Hancock, then walked towards her. The three Hancock sisters huddled in a corner, shivering. They are now terrified of anyone, especially men. Robin, I leave them to you. At this time, Victor said to Robin. Me? Robin said suspiciously. Be nice. Victor rubbed Robin's head. Robin nodded, humming slightly. Don't take off their collars until they get used to life here. Victor said. At this time, Victor added. If they escape outside and are captured by bad guys, it will be troublesome. Stella nodded, she thought Victor was right. The three Hancock children are so lucky to have met Victor. Otherwise, the current situation of the three of them would be absolutely horrible. Okay, let's take them to rest, Victor said to Robin and others. Robin brought the three Hancock sisters to the restaurant. Stella prepared food for the three of Hancock. They sat at the dining table, looked at the food in front of them, but did not move. The three of them are like pets who have just changed homes and have not yet adapted to the current environment. After all, going from hell to heaven still requires a process of adaptation. Robin saw what the third of them was thinking, so she took the lead in eating a piece of cake from Hancock's plate. Seeing this, the three of Hancock also picked up their forks and began to eat. It's just that Robin ate elegantly, but when the three of them ate, they had no image at all. So delicious. There are such delicious things in the world. The reason why the three of Hancock left Daughter Island was because they were full of curiosity about the outside world. The clothes outside, the food outside, the scenery outside. So everything cut off by the sea. For all three of them, it was new and mysterious. Master Victor is a good man, don't worry about him hurting you. Stella said softly. You have to remember that there are many bad people in this world. If you hadn't met Mr. Victor, then your fate would be so miserable. Stella went on to tell the fate of the slaves. Stella was also born as a slave. The story she is telling now is not about the three sisters of CPU Hancock. However, the effect is very good. At least the three Hancock sisters realized one thing. They'd better stay at Victor's villa right now. Because it will be safe here. There is clean food, no one will force them, let alone whip them. Eni's Lobby is established by the world government, which is a nominal court, as long as people brought to Eni's Lobby must be identified as prisoners. Prisoners are escorted through the empty courthouse until they come to a cold, massive iron gate, the Gate of Justice, through which prisoners usually pass and never come back. It is ironic at times to use the Eni's Lobby as a symbol of absolute justice for the world government. But power is justice, and the truth of the world is only in the hands of absolute power. Victor has nothing against the darkness of Eni's Lobby. Today, Victor came to find the Spandane dignitary. Since his stellar exploits in the Ohara incident, Spandane has risen through the ranks. Spandane is now the commander of CP9. When Spandane heard that Victor was coming, he immediately assembled all the troops on the Eni's Lobby. Carpets, flowers, salutes, welcome teams, whatever it takes to make the show big enough, Spandane is ready. Salute. Eni's Lobby, 10,000 Marine soldiers saluted at the same time. Then, the salute was fired, and the scene was particularly spectacular. Victor Admiral, I have prepared the show, wine and food, please watch and eat. Spandane said obsequiously. Victor touched Robin's head, and said to Spandane, after the Ohara incident, your talent has been affirmed by the 5 elders. Robin looked at Spandane. This is one of her enemies? In front of Victor, Spandane did not dare to be greedy for credit. He hurriedly said, it's all Victor Admiral's command. At this time, Victor took out a golden phone bug. Want it? After seeing the golden phone bug, Spandane was stunned. Of course he wanted it. Because of the golden phone bug, the demon slaying command can be activated. In the Marine headquarters, only Admiral and above Admiral generals are eligible to own the golden phone bug. After activating the Buster Call, you can command 5 Vice Admirals, 10 Rear Admirals, and 10,000 elite Marines. Master Victor, you are so generous. You can rest assured that I will be loyal to you. Spandane was quick to thank him, but before he could flatter him, he was stunned by what Victor said next. I need someone now, his name is Lucci. Lucci's talent is the best of any kid, maybe even the best in CP 9800-year history. Victor thought it all over. Robin acts as his assistant and takes care of the daily work. Hancock becomes a Shicibukai, and recruits pirates as a Shicibukai. Lucci's task is to collect intelligence for Victor and complete special shady tasks. Sabo would make an excellent battlefield commander. Kuina is Victor's sword, helping Victor cut people. Victor's current goal is to raise these 5 children. This is yours. At this time, Victor handed the golden phone bug to Spandine. Then, Brian said casually, I heard that Oimo and Guy of the Giant Soldiers Pirates are guarding the gate of Eni's lobby. Spandane's heart was depressed. Just poach a potential stock. However, Victor also poached Oimo and Guy West. Isn't there a lot of titans in naval headquarters? Why come to Eni's lobby to poach people? Victor said to Spandine, I have something to do recently, and I want to ask them for help. Spandine said, no problem, it's their pleasure. Do it well, I believe you will do a lot. After Victor finished speaking, he handed the golden phone bug to Spandine. After Spandine got the golden phone bug, he immediately smiled. Losing 2 titans, and 1 Luki is nothing, he's got the golden phone bug now. With the help of Marine Admiral, he can do whatever he wants now. Throw it with plums, and return it with peaches. Spando was overjoyed, and hurriedly said to Victor, Master Victor, besides Lucci, there are other children, and their talents are not bad, so let me send them to you as well. Is CP9 strong? Do you want to train subordinates for your son? Now Spandine didn't think about it at all. Now he wants to dump all of CP9's family property and hand it all over to Victor. As long as Victor has him covered, he'll have it all. Guanhao Island. This is where the world government raises orphans. Rob Lucci was trained here. Lucci is 11 years old this year. He has been selected by CP9 and can enter CP9 at any time. However, considering that he is still too young, Spandane is not in a hurry to transfer him to CP9. At this time, Instructor Clarkson walked in front of Lucci. Lucci. Clarkson yelled at Lucci. Lucci was practicing his kicking skills, accompanied by his pigeon Hadoli, who quietly watched Lucci kick the steel pipe in front of him into various shapes. Lucci stopped when he heard Clarkson calling him. Come here. Clarkson hooked Lucci. Lucci came to Clarkson's side. Clarkson said to Lucci, go take a shower, there is a boat waiting for you at the pier. Yes. Lucci replied. Lucci didn't ask any questions. The concept of unconditional obedience to orders has been instilled in him since he was a child. So, don't ask where you're going, what you're doing, why you're doing it. After Lucci took a shower, he went to the pier. A warship was waiting for him at the pier. Lucci stepped onto the warship, and after seeing Lucci on the warship, Spandane took the initiative to walk in front of him. When Lucci saw Spandane, he immediately raised his hand to salute. Lucci, you are lucky, Victor Admiral has taken a fancy to you, and you must perform well when you are next to Victor Admiral. Spandane said to Lucci. Lucci listened expressionlessly. Sabodi Archipelago, Victor's villa. Lucci followed behind Spandane and walked into the villa. The yard of the villa is huge. In the yard, several children are exercising. From their attitude, Lucci can see how focused they are. It's not even inferior to the children who practiced on Guanhao Island. However, the most powerful one is the girl with jet black long hair combed in G hairstyle. Robin, the 3 sisters Hancock and others also noticed Lucci. Lucci is wearing a black hat, highly recognizable. Soon, Lucci followed Spandane to the study of the villa. Victor is in the study. Master Victor, the man has already brought it. Spandane smiled obsequiously. Come and sit. Victor said, pointing to Spandane. Spandane walked over and sat beside Victor. At this time, Stella brought 2 cups of black tea and a small plate of pastries. Victor looked at Lucci, the eyes are very sharp. Lucci was watched by Victor, his expression was numb. Since childhood, he has been accepting the eyes of others. The adults always looked at him with the word, satisfaction. Victor is no exception. Victor said to Lucci, from today on, you will stay with me. Lucci remained expressionless and did not answer. Spando was a little angry, and was afraid that Victor would be angry, so he immediately reminded Lucci, listen to Master Victor. Yes. Lucci replied. You have trained him well. Victor said with satisfaction. Okay, if there is nothing else, you can go back first. Yes, yes. Spandane smiled, and left the study. Spandane's reaction was in front of Lucci. His instructor Clarkson was also docile in front of Spandane. This proves Victor's authority over Spandane. Stella, take this child to eat first, Victor said. Yes. After Stella finished speaking, she looked at Lucci. Go and eat. Victor said to Lucci. Yes. Lucci followed behind Stella. You are so lucky to be chosen by Lord Victor. On the way out of the study, Stella said to Lucci. Lucci said nothing, like cold wood. However, Stella didn't take it seriously, and Robin and Hancock didn't speak when they came here. However, over time, they all blended in here. The three Hancock sisters talked more and more. Now the three Hancock sisters are able to communicate normally with Robin and others. Victor is very satisfied with their performance. I also appreciate Stella more. Stella loves being complimented by Victor. The strength of the body determines the strength of the strength. No matter how superb your physical skills are, no matter how destructive your attacks are. You attack the enemy 10 times and you can't defeat the enemy, but the enemy only needs to attack you once and you are down. Then your life is over. In the evening, Victor taught all the children the correct way of cultivation in the yard. So, before beating someone, learn to be beaten first. Anti-strike training is the foundation. Victor was teaching the children, and Lucci listened carefully. The ideas taught by Victor are different from those taught by instructor. Although instructor also emphasizes physical strength, no one learns to be beaten first, they all learn to beat others. Learned how to kill. Lucci. At this moment, Victor looked at Lucci. Lucci looked at Victor. Come out. Victor said to Lucci. Lucci came out. Try to attack right. Lucci nodded, so he set up his posture and attacked right with the fastest speed. Right stood still. Lucci kicked right continuously. A few minutes later, Lucci stopped attacking because right was unharmed. Right has been with Victor over the years, and his strength has improved significantly. Right, give Lucci a punch. Victor said. Yes. Right looked at Lucci and punched without hesitation. Lucci wanted to block it with all his strength, but he only heard a bang. The sonic boom from Right's heavy punch made Lucci startled. Then, Lucci's body bent, and he felt that his internal organs were shattered. The severe pain and burning sensation made Lucci unable to stand still. Lucci covered his chest, his face pale as paper. Right withdrew his hand and turned to look at Victor. Lucci fell to the ground, bleeding from the corner of his mouth, his breath was like a thread. Victor glanced at Lucci, and then said, Go to recuperate, you still have a long way to go. Today this is just an appetizer, making Lucci realize how weak he is. Lucci was carried down for treatment. Right said to Victor, Senior, did I strike too hard? Heavy? Victor smiled, and patted Right on the shoulder. You still need to practice more, otherwise the gap with Connor will get farther and farther. Really? Right was startled. Yeah. Victor nodded. Although both Right and Connor are his assistants, and both of them are classmates, they also have a competitive relationship. After all, Marine is a place where strength speaks. At the same time, Right is also worried that a newcomer will surpass him. He worries that he will be replaced by someone else. The way to make subordinates loyal is not only to give kindness and strength together, but also to make them feel a sense of crisis. In simple terms, let them roll up inside. Right now Victor has to do wrong. Blue Ocean Club is enough. Therefore, people around Victor are very concerned about their status. They all want to stay with Victor forever. Master Victor can't go home again this week? I heard from Sister Stella that she should stay at the headquarters for duty. I also want him to see my recent progress. Me too, my sister too. Hancock, Sandersonia and Marigold were chatting in the yard. They are having lunch. Upon hearing this topic, Hancock said arrogantly, I don't need him to see my progress. At this time, Robin looked at Lucci out of the corner of his eye. Lucci was in the sun, continuing to exercise, sweat dripping down the muscles of his body. His injury is still not healed, but he is so desperate. Lucci, have you finished your meal? Stella came over and asked. Lucci stopped and nodded. Although Lucci has a cold personality and doesn't like to talk, his heart is full of flesh. Stella was a good person, and he felt her kindness. Because of his intense daily workouts, Stella often gave him extra meals. Kuina and Sabo are cooking. Sabo has a big bowl, and Kuina has a bigger bowl. Because Victor once told Kuina that after eating and practicing, you can have stronger muscles and bones, and you will be stronger in the future. Kuina has a competitive heart in her bones. Women are no less competitive than men. Moreover, Kuina also hopes that Lord Victor can praise her more. Marineford, Naval Headquarters. Victor stretched. He hated the shift. Still have fun doing Vice Admiral. Of course, this idea only existed for a while, and soon disappeared. Tuck tuck. At this time, someone knocked on the door. Come in. Victor called out casually. I saw a CP0 agent walk in, and he came to Victor. What's the matter? Victor asked casually. This is what Angela Dessen asked me to give to you. Agent CP0 hands Victor a box. Victor takes the box. When the box was opened, it was a sweet fruit. Yeah. Victor nodded and said, "Thank your highness for me." Agent CP0 turns and leaves. Wright glanced at it, and he recognized it as a sweet fruit. Senior, what do you need it for? Wright asked curiously. Victor prefers zone devil fruit. Not too cold for paramecia. Of course it is of great use, Victor said with a smile. Sweet fruit goes best with Hancock. Only Hancock's beauty can exert the power of sweet fruit. Someone else, like Blackbeard? Imagine Blackbeard using Mero Mero Mellow in a kiss gun. Just thinking about it gives people nightmares. Oh. Wright still didn't understand, but didn't ask again. Tuck tuck. At this time, the office door rang again. Come in. Victor shouted while putting away the sweet fruit. The office door opened. Senior. Connor walked up to Victor and whispered in his ear. Senior, Tezzolo wants to see you. That's right. Victor chuckled. Exactly, I want to meet him too. During this period of time, Tezzolo became more powerful. In Sabodi Archipelago, he has made a lot of money by opening casinos, nightclubs, and smuggling arms. After that, he began to try his best to buy people's hearts. There are not only dozens of his subordinates, but hundreds of them. Today, Tezzolo is also a figure in the underground world of the Sabodi Archipelago. But as Tezzolo grew in power, he finally hit a wall. Or to put it another way, it is the bottleneck. With his current development method, it is difficult to break through the current scale. Because if you want to continue to expand the scale, you need a background. Tezzolo went from a gangster on the street to his current position step by step. Although it is very inspirational and not easy, the backstage is not easy to find. The background that can be bought with money is not reliable at all. Tezzolo now understands what a value exchange is. If he can't bring enough value to these big shots, then these big shots would naturally not cooperate with him. So Tezzolo thought of someone. That big man is now the god of the Sabodi Archipelago. God of the underworld. Everyone is afraid of him. That is Victor, the only man to sweep the Sabodi Archipelago. So, Tezzolo broke the relationship and wanted to see Victor. Of course, Tezzolo didn't go to Stella, he didn't want to rely on Stella's help. Night fell. Tezzolo opened a gold bar in the prime location of the commercial street. The bar can only be described as ultimate luxury. All the furnishings inside are unique in the world, and each decoration is worth more than 10 million shells. Profit. And also trained a group of exclusive beautiful bartenders. They accompany the guests to drink, dance and chat throughout the whole process, and answer emotional questions for customers. Moreover, because the privacy is very strong, the staff of the world government often come here. Either bring your own female companion, or keep a beautiful sommelier here. In short, you can have a good time here. However, tonight's gold bar is hosting a distinguished guest. Tezzolo was waiting at the door early. The current Tezzolo is no longer a low-level gangster in a suit and leather shoes. Tezzolo began to wear Zhongyang. The pink suit and leather shoes, coupled with the gold jewelry on his body, really attracted everyone's attention. Tezzolo stood at the door, naturally attracting the attention of passers-by. They were all curious as to what kind of big shot made Tezzolo wait at the door in person. You know, Tezzolo has been a man of the moment recently, annexing the territory of several gangs in succession. Currently in the limelight, in the expectant eyes of everyone, a car stopped at the door. Tezzolo came to the door himself and opened it for Victor. He was respectful, like an ordinary waiter. Such a low profile made everyone dumbfounded. Because according to the rumors, Tezzolo is a murderer without blinking an eye, and he is also rebellious, and his temper is even more unpredictable. The consequence of angering Tezzolo is often to die on the street. Under the gaze of everyone, a leather shoe got out of the car. Immediately afterwards, Victor appeared in front of everyone. Although Victor didn't wear a military uniform and also wore sunglasses, his appearance and momentum couldn't be hidden. Passers-by on the road recognized Victor at a glance. It's Victor Admiral. Oh my god. Tezzolo's backer is Victor Admiral. Tezzolo stood in front of Victor on the big sofa. With his feet up and a cigar in his hand, Victor looked at Tezzolo jokingly, and said calmly, "Everyone on this street now knows that I am your backer." "Thank you, Lord Victor," Tezzolo replied earnestly. Compared to the first time we met, you have matured a lot. Victor smiled, and continued, however, I hope that your maturity can be used in the right place. Tetsuo listened. There are many people who want to do things for me, even many people are willing to be my dogs. Victor looked at Tetsuo, he smoked a cigar and said, so, you have to put yourself in the right position. I understand. Tetsuo heard the meaning in Victor's words. Be a dog. This sounded very irritating. However, there are not a few people who want to be a dog for Victor. Victor said, even if you follow me, you should know what you can do and what you can't do. Yes. Tetsuo answered with a bow. Victor said, I will give you some tasks and some business. I have a lot of places to use my money, so you need to go all out in making money. I will definitely not let you down, Tetsuo said confidently. In terms of making money, Tetsuo has absolute self-confidence. Well, I will transfer some funds to you first. After finishing speaking, Victor stood up. Funds? Tetsuo froze for a moment, he didn't expect Victor to give him money. He thought that from now on, he would have to pay the protection fee every month. Okay, I'm leaving, I hope you can make results as soon as possible. Victor finished speaking and walked out. Tetsuo followed Victor until he reached the door. Tetsuo opened the door for Victor, then bowed and sent Victor away. The next morning, while Tetsuo was still asleep, suddenly there was a knock on his door. Boss, boss. It was Tetsuo's younger brother Finn who knocked on the door. Tetsuo usually sleeps in the casino's office. Because the casino is the easiest thing to do. What's wrong? Tetsuo woke up in a hurry, he opened the curtains and looked out the window. The casino was not under siege, and it was only just dawn. Finn said to Tetsuo through the door, Boss, Tetsuo's place is going to be sold to us. Huh. Tetsuo froze for a moment. Tasro was referring to the mob family of the Sabodi archipelago. They have been in the Sabodi archipelago for over 100 years. Moreover, there are senior officials of the world government behind it. Recently, Tetsuo had a fight with Taslo because of robbing guests, and there were dead people on both sides. Unexpectedly, Taslo actually sold the casino to Tetsuo. Tetsuo thought of one thing. Is Victor's influence. Taslo must be afraid of Victor. Now the entire Sabodi archipelago knows that Victor is Tetsuo's backer. As for the forces behind Taslo, when they faced Victor, they were directly discouraged. It also depends on the owner to beat the dog. Victor is not something the higher-ups of the world government can offend. After all, those so-called higher-ups dare not offend Marine Admiral. As the saying goes, the spring breeze is proud of horseshoe disease. Ever since he followed Victor and had Victor as his backer, Tetsuo did everything smoothly. What shocked Tetsuo even more was Victor's financial resources. Victor actually took out 20 billion baileys in one breath, and asked Tetsuo to use the money to invest. Whether it is opening a casino, lending usury, or smuggling arms, or drugs, Tetsuo needs money and manpower. Of course, if you have money, you are not afraid of not being able to recruit people. With so much money now, and with Victor on his side, it was natural for Tetsuo to make a move. So Tetsuo thought of opening a new entertainment city. Just in Sabodi archipelago, build a comprehensive entertainment city. Eat, drink and be merry. Not only must there be food and wine, but also beautiful women and various exciting entertainment activities. Casinos first, nightclubs second. Everything has to be grand. It's just that this needs to be done in batches. Because 20 billion pele is not enough for Tetsuo to accomplish his goal. As for Tetsuo's aggressive expansion, his every move is under Victor's surveillance. Connor would keep an eye on Tetsuo, because the 20 billion baileys are not just Senior Victor's money. It is also related to Marine's retirement pension and pension. North Blue, South Town. This is now Doflamingo territory. Members of the Don Quixote family are here, committing every violent crime imaginable. Gilder Tetsuo, a name I've never heard of. At this point, Doflamingo is looking at an intelligence report. It's information about Tetsuo. The Sabodi archipelago has always been a battleground for underground forces, such as human trafficking, arms smuggling, drug smuggling, etc. But anyone who makes money needs to transit through Sabodi archipelago. Today, Tetsuo has risen in the Sabodi archipelago and has the momentum of monopoly. Gambling, drugs, arms deals, etc. Tetsuo was all in. I said Dover, do we want to talk to him? Torable asked. Behind him is Marine Admiral. Doflamingo frowned. Now Doflamingo dare not underestimate Tetsuo. In particular, the Marine Admiral's name was Victor. That is the ruthless person who captured the Red Earl and the Golden Lion. Clausen was on the sidelines the whole time, listening in silence. He is now undercover at Doflamingo's side, following Sengoku's orders. As Doflamingo's younger brother, he is now also a senior member of the Don Quixote family. Toribol said. However, what about our business? Especially the arms sold to the New World need to go through the Saboti archipelago. Krasen listened carefully. He must find out this arms smuggling route. Millions of civilians are displaced each year by Doflamingo arms smuggling. And Doflamingo not only made money by smuggling arms, but also took the opportunity to acquire a large number of slaves. These slaves are refugees who were displaced by the war. Refugees are trafficked around the world by Doflamingo. It can be said that every Bailey earned by Doflamingo is stained with blood. If you talk to him, you might as well talk to Victor. Doflamingo smoked a cigar, a bright light flashed in his eyes. It's time to cooperate with Marine too. When Toribol, Diamante and others heard the word cooperation, smiles appeared on their faces. Doflamingo wants to be Shicibukai. It's just that he has never been recognized by Marine. This made Doflamingo very angry. Of course, this matter is not Victor's responsibility. Doflamingo found out that it was Sengoku who was in charge of Shichibukai's affairs. Doflamingo, though, knows what Victor is like. Victor loves money and hates pirates. Doflamingo can be gifted with pirates and money. Hope to have a good relationship with Victor. Is Victor really qualified to be a Marine?
Corazon hates Victor because of Sengoku. Especially when he returned to Doflamingo's undercover, he learned more about Victor's dirty business in private.
Such a person can be a Marine Admiral? Still want to wipe out the pirates completely? Corazon would not believe it. However, Corazon believes in justice, and he believes that if enough evidence is found, then Doflamingo can be punished, and Victor can also be punished. What a money-making machine. Victor smiled and praised Tezzolo's earning power. Tezzolo made money almost faster than he could rob. He firmly grasped human nature. Women love beauty, so he used luxury tax to impress them. He even provided interest-free installment loans. Therefore, even users who have no money to buy, only need to pay a small service fee to buy what they like. Women have a strong desire to consume. Now that they have a platform for consumption and money, they naturally go shopping. I have to praise Tetzolo, this brain is really good. In addition, pornography, gambling and drugs are also arranged for men. The casinos and nightclubs opened by Tezzolo in the Saboti archipelago are all overcrowded, violently sucking money every day. Moreover, the casino prohibits thousands of dollars, and only draws a service fee of 5. In addition, the casino also provides low-interest loan services. If you have no money, you can borrow money to continue gambling. The more you borrow, the higher the interest. Victor is satisfied, however, he thought of Marine. If Marine is also involved in pornography, gambling and drugs. Victor squinted his eyes. This matter had to be prevented before it happened, and he needed to find time to customize the issue of military discipline. See Circle Calendar 1505. In January, the climate in Winter Island gets colder and colder. On the sea in winter, there are almost no ships, except for sporadic patrol boats and pirate ships, only seabirds and dolphins are left. On a small island, a small pier is moored with many goods. Cargo piled up like a mountain. There are seagulls passing by, flapping their wings, and setting off dust all over the sky. A boat slowly docked. The moment the freighter docked, dozens of men in black suddenly poured out on the deck. The leader was a man, wearing a black windbreaker and sunglasses, with a slender figure and a sharp-edged face, looking handsome and extraordinary. The man stepped onto the freighter, stood on the top floor, and looked down at his feet. Around the freighter, there were 3 other ships side by side, and each ship was guarded by hundreds of men in black. They all held guns in their hands. The man looked around, looked at a room, his eyes fell on a window, and his lips parted slightly. Where are people? As soon as he finished speaking, a man appeared behind him. Fu. Doflamingo appeared behind the man. Sure enough, you are someone who wants to do great things. Tetzolo turned to look at Doflamingo. Where's the goods? The goods are available, and the quality is better. Doflamingo was smoking a cigar, and under his signal, soon, a group of people came to the pier carrying the boxes. Doflamingo pointed to those boxes. These are all our commodities, which can make you a lot of money. Tetzolo opened the box. The boxes contained ammunition and drugs. Ever since Tezzolo got Victor's money and resources, he's on his way to becoming bigger and stronger. Just suddenly, his supply was cut off. After investigation, Tezzolo learned that Doflamingo was behind the scenes. Doflamingo invites Tezzolo to come to Winter Island to meet. Tezzolo didn't know what medicine was sold in Doflamingo's gourd, but after he asked Victor for instructions, Victor let him agree. In fact, Doflamingo also knew that it was not Tezzolo he invited, but Victor. It's just that Doflamingo's identity is too special, so he can't meet Victor directly. Therefore, it can only be negotiated through Tezzolo. Tezzolo looked at these arms and drugs and was very satisfied. This time his harvest was rich. How much do you want? Tezzolo asked, looking at Doflamingo. Doflamingo gave Tezzolo a look. It's not about the money, it's about our friendship. If you could say hello to Victor Admiral for me. After Doflamingo finished speaking, he left with his men. Tezzolo looked at Doflamingo's back, lost in thought. It turned out that from the beginning to the end, only he was kept in the dark. Tezzolo isn't angry, though. Tezzolo is willing to be Victor's dog. Although it is a dog, it is also raised by Victor. Tezzolo looked at the goods in front of him, and at the back of Doflamingo leaving, he is only worthy of being a dog. Marineford, Naval Headquarters. North of Naval Headquarters, there is an artificial island. The island occupies a very large area, and the island can be moved. There are many Marines stationed on the island. The island is called St. John. The residents of the island are all Marines' family members. On the bridge of the St. John, Victor is patrolling. At this time, Wright came to the bridge and reported to Victor, "Senior Victor, everything is ready." Victor nodded and asked again, "How are those people doing?" "All the best." "Very well, let them assemble at Naval Headquarters first." "Yes, Senior. In addition, you should inform the headquarters and deliver the goods as soon as possible." "Yes." Victor is doing something big. With the money he earned, he built an island. Like Judge's mobile kingdom, the island is made of ships. Victor took as many family members of the Blue Ocean Society as possible to live at sea. In this way, not only can the cohesion be improved, but also the army will have no worries. Of course, the most important thing is that these people have become chips in Victor's hands. Blue blue. Blue blue. At this time, the phone bug started calling. Victor picked up the phone bug. "What's wrong?" Victor asked. "Master Victor, it's bad." Marine's panicked voice came from the phone bug. "Golden Lion has attacked us." "Go on. They destroyed our stronghold." "What about casualties?" "Sorry, no survivors." "Kahahaha." The voice of the Golden Lion came from the phone bug. "Golden Lion, you really can make trouble." Victor snorted coldly. "That's right." The phone bug imitated Golden Lion's sinister face, and said again, "Wait, I will kill you. Then I'll wait for you." Victor ended the call, not paying attention to the threat of the Golden Lion. After recuperating, Golden Lion wants to come back for revenge. At this time, Connor came to Victor, "Senior, Tezzolo and Doflamingo have met, and Doflamingo sent you several shipments as a gift. Schedule a meeting time." Victor thought of using pirates against pirates. "Maybe, give Doflamingo a hand." A pirate ship with a flamingo on its bow is parked in the harbor of Winter Island. All the residents of the nearby Winter Island have run away. In the village, Doflamingo and others drank steaming tea, waiting for the good news. Blue blue. Blue blue. The calling of the phone bug made Doflamingo, Torable and the others focus on the phone bug. Doflamingo picked up the phone bug's microphone. "It's me." The phone bug imitated Tezzolo's voice. "Lord Victor wants to see you." Tezzolo continued. "Thank you very much. I will send you a generous gift." Doflamingo said with a smile. Call ended. Doflamingo moved his hands and feet, and then said to Torable, Diamante and others, "Brothers, our chance is coming. If pirates want to grow, they cannot avoid world government and marine. Like Beast's Pirates has a long-standing deal with the world government. This kind of thing is unknown to the Marines and the public at the bottom. However, it does exist. Beast's Pirates and Kaido, through the transaction with the world government, not only obtained considerable income, but also expanded and grown rapidly under the indulgence of the world government. The same is true for Doflamingo. He knows that it is useless to fight only when he comes out to hang out, and he also needs to talk about influence and background. Otherwise, it's a punk. Doflamingo infiltrated the Sabodi archipelago overnight. At noon the next day, Tezzolo arranged for Doflamingo and others to wait for Victor's arrival. From 12 noon to 8 o'clock at night, both Toribol and Diamante felt that they had been tricked. Doflamingo was also very anxious, and it was very uncomfortable to be fooled. However, Doflamingo did not choose to leave, nor did he show any dissatisfaction. He was waiting in the room for Victor to arrive. I said, Dover, is Victor Admiral not coming? Toribol couldn't help asking. Doflamingo also wanted to know. He said without changing his face, I heard that Lord Victor will do what he says. Since he wants to see us, he will definitely show up. Diamante chose to keep his mouth shut. At the same time, Tezzolo was outside the house. He didn't go to the casino today and was waiting for Victor to come over. It's just that Tezzolo didn't expect Victor to show up so late today. Is it on purpose? Tezzolo thought to himself. The time passed by 1 minute and 1 second. Victor's car stopped in front of the bar until it was almost 10 o'clock. Tezzolo was at the door, and he got out of the car and went to open the door himself. Victor stepped out of the car. Is he still there? Victor asked casually. Tezzolo said, I've been waiting for you, and I didn't even go to the toilet. Victor glanced at Tezzolo, and Tezzolo was a good guy, and he even said a good word for Doflamingo. Victor walked into the bar, came to the room, and said to Tezzolo, go and bring the man. Tezzolo then came to the adjoining room. Lord Victor is here. Tezzolo told Doflamingo et al. Doflamingo and others stood up and followed Tezzolo to the room. Victor sees Doflamingo, wearing sunglasses, a black and red shirt, white cropped pants, and pointed shoes. The current Doflamingo dress is relatively low-key. At least in front of Victor, he is not so Zhongyang. Doflamingo also saw Victor, who was more scary than he imagined. Although he didn't say a word, he didn't get angry, and felt an unprecedented sense of oppression from Victor. Even if he was hunted down by a crane, he was never so scared. At this point, Tezzolo had left the room. In the room, there are only Victor and Doflamingo. Very quiet. Even the sound of breathing is so clear. Doflamingo is like a child in a cage, and the beast beside him is the king of beasts. The sense of nervousness that if he is not careful, he will die in Wangchen, he is about to suffocate. The Golden Lion came back and attacked a fort in Marine, you know that. At this time, Victor said to Doflamingo. After hearing Victor's words, Doflamingo was thinking about how to answer. Victor said, you're undercover agent in the Marine, forget it, I'm too lazy to clean him up. When Victor mentioned the word undercover, Doflamingo's expression changed drastically. How does Victor know who is undercover? Victor looked at Doflamingo and said, I know you're shocked, but there's really nothing you can hide from me, especially right under my nose. A drop of cold sweat rolled down Doflamingo's brow. Okay, don't be nervous. I didn't intend to clean him up. You want to keep him and continue to eavesdrop on Marine's information. That's your freedom. Victor picked up a cigarette, lit it, took a deep breath, and passed slowly spit out from the back of your lungs. You have also done a lot of things recently. You want to become Shicibukai, isn't that the case? Doflamingo didn't answer. Victor went on to say, just say what you want, what's the shame? After all, Shak Lok Dar has become a Shicibukai, but... Victor smiled slightly and said, he's also a fool, it's not good to go to anyone, go to Whitebeard. After hearing Victor's words, Doflamingo had a feeling that he had no secrets in front of Victor. Victor said, I can recommend you to become a Shicibukai, and you can also rely on your identity as a Shicibukai to do who and what you want to do, but there is no such thing as a white pie in the sky. I'd do anything for you, Doflamingo replied. Victor chuckled, activate your intelligence network in the underground world and help me find the Golden Lion. I will do my best. Doflamingo said. Well, if you play well, you can get everything you want. After Victor finished speaking, he waved his hand and let Doflamingo go out. Doflamingo breathed a sigh of relief and was about to leave. Victor stopped him again. I want the golden fruit, you help me find it. Victor to Doflamingo. In the original plot, the golden fruit was found by Doflamingo and used as an auction gimmick. As a result, Tezzolo snatched the golden fruit. The golden emperor without the golden fruit has no soul. I'll definitely bring it to you, Doflamingo said. After Doflamingo left the room, he breathed a sigh of relief. I said, Dover, are you okay? Toribol asked hastily. Doflamingo shook his head. In fact, his shirt was already dripping. He's all wet now. It's like being fished out of a water tank. Doflamingo gritted his teeth and said, use all our channels to find the Golden Lion. Senior, I don't understand why Doflamingo was sent to find the Golden Lion. After Doflamingo left, Wright was in a daze. He really didn't understand. With Marine's intelligence network, do you still need Doflamingo's help? Hearing this, Victor smiled and said, Wright, have you ever raised a dog? Wright shook his head. I never liked cats and dogs since I was a child. Victor smoked a cigarette and said, when raising a dog, you need to maintain a dog for interaction, such as throwing a frisbee, and the fat dog will pick it up. The dog will not only pick up the frisbee, but also put it in front of you, as if to say, Master, I have completed the task. After hearing what Victor said, Wright still didn't understand. At this time, you have to reward it, you have to praise it for being such a good dog, and then throw the frisbee out. Victor said with a smile, if you continue like this a few times, the relationship between you and the dog will become closer and closer. Wright thought about it after listening. Doflamingo is a dog. Let him do something, he will come to you to claim credit after he finishes, then reward him, praise him, let him continue to do things. Victor's words made Wright enlightened. Doflamingo immediately tapped into his channels and started looking for the Golden Lion. It has to be admitted that Doflamingo has operated underground forces for many years, and his influence has penetrated all over the world. I said Dover, we have checked the black markets in various places, and there is no news of Golden Lion. Days later, Toribol spoke to Doflamingo. Afraid of being found out by the Marine? So be extra careful? Diamante spoke his mind. Even if Golden Lion is careful, he still needs to purchase supplies. Doflamingo said with a sullen face, unless. Unless what? Toribol and others asked. Unless he controls a country, Doflamingo said. You can only control a certain kingdom and support it with the kingdom's materials, so that you don't need to buy materials. I said Dover, even if Golden Lion controls a certain country, but don't forget his ability, it will be very difficult for Marines to catch him. Diamante reminded. Golden Lion's lion fruit can make many islands float in the air, and it is more difficult to catch him than to go to the sky. Victor's mission for us was to find him, not capture him, Doflamingo said. Dover, how are you going to tell Victor if you can't find the Golden Lion? Toribol asked. Doflamingo grimaced. It must be found. Hearing this sentence, Diamante and the others suddenly became ugly. The failure of this operation closes the window for us to work with Victor. Doflamingo wants to seek greater benefits, therefore, must let Victor see his strength. New World, G5 Base. The current role of the G5 base is only to monitor the movements of pirates, collect information on New World, and repair and maintain ships. Within Marine, the G5 branch is no longer considered a combat force. Today, the base commander guarding the G5 branch is Sengoku's subordinate Maka Vice Admiral. Maka Vice Admiral is a very stable person, he will not yell at pirates like young people. Especially recently, the Golden Lion began to take revenge on Marine, which made Maka Vice Admiral realize the heavy responsibility. What he is now responsible for is not only to monitor the movement of New World, but also to guard against the Golden Lion's sneak attack, so as not to cause excessive losses to Marine. Commander, this is the information collected today. Maka Vice Admiral took a piece of information and read it. According to intelligence, there was an exchange of fire between the 3 warships of the Golden Lion and the G1 branch. The 3 warships were finally silent, and most of the 3,000 Marines were killed. Still too young. Maka not only thinks Akainu is too young, but also thinks Victor is too young. If they can choose to evade reasonably like Sengoku, they won't lose so many Marines. Just as Maka Vice Admiral sighed, the base suddenly remembered sirens. Alarm? What does it mean? Could it be that the Golden Lion is coming? Maka immediately went to the window, looking at the sea in the distance. Soon, a figure appeared in the field of vision. He was wearing a loose black coat. With 2 knives in his hands, he walked towards the base. Soon, that ferocious face appeared in Maka Vice Admiral's sight. It's him. Maka Vice Admiral looked at the man in surprise. That man is none other than the Golden Lion. How come? He was still near the G1 branch this morning. As soon as Golden Lion entered the gate of the base, he saw Maka Vice Admiral. Looking at Vice Admiral in front of him, he frowned slightly and asked, "Who are you?" Maka Vice Admiral pointed to himself and said, "My name is Maka, don't you remember me?" Golden Lion looked at Vice Admiral in front of him, nobody. After all, he turned his head and was about to leave. Stop. Maka yelled immediately, do you know what you're doing? Golden Lion stopped, turned to look at Maka Vice Admiral, and said, are you stopping me? Yes, that's right, I won't allow anyone to destroy this place. Maka Vice Admiral's eyes are firm. This is the mission of being Marine, the task he must complete for him by Sengoku. Seeing this, Golden Lion smiled, you alone? Are you worthy of blocking this old man? With a sneer, the Golden Lion swung his knife and slashed over. The saber aura was extremely fierce, and it tore through the air in an instant, drawing out a long saber light. The speed of the knife light was too fast, and there was no room for Maka Vice Admiral to react. Even if he is Vice Admiral, he can't resist the Golden Lion's attack. Not good. Seeing this scene, Maka Vice Admiral's expression changed drastically. He didn't dare to touch it head-on, and quickly backed away. Unfortunately, he has no way to retreat. Watching the blade fall on his shoulder helplessly, blood sprayed out immediately. Maka Vice Admiral let out a muffled grunt, and fell down straight. Die. Golden Lion snorted coldly, stepped on Maka's chest, and then slashed down again. Pooh. Maka Vice Admiral howled again, his head flew out of his body and fell to the ground. Blood splattered everywhere. Golden Lion retracted the machete and looked at Maka's body. Maka Vice Admiral dead. Looking at Maka lying in a pool of blood, all base soldiers were stunned, as if they couldn't hear their ears clearly. Maka Vice Admiral is Vice Admiral, he was actually beheaded by the Golden Lion. This monster, this guy is a monster, a Marine soldier said tremblingly. Yeah, monster. Marine on the side also agreed, he is a lunatic who is not afraid of death. Damn pirate. Just when Marine was trembling, an island floated over the fortress. The shadow of the island completely enveloped the G5 base. The G5 base was destroyed by Golden Lion, which was expected by Victor. However, Victor doesn't care, because there are not many members of the Blue Ocean Club in the Marine in the G5 branch. As for the Golden Lion's revenge will be stronger? Victor didn't care either. Now these things should be troubled by Sora and Sengoku, what does it matter to him? And he didn't bother to care about so many things. After all, even if the G5 base is destroyed by the Golden Lion, so what? As long as someone can still function, even if it is destroyed 10 times, someone will still come in. However, Sengoku and Sora have a headache. The Golden Lion's revenge is just the beginning, and the follow-up problems will be more troublesome. The devil fruit owned by Golden Lion is destined to be one of the most difficult characters in the sea. If you can't catch him, you can only watch Golden Lion wreak havoc. Brother Golden Lion is back. Great, I'm going to follow him. Take me too, I'm not going to join Whitebeard. In terms of personality charm, Whitebeard is indeed not as good as Golden Lion. Because the Golden Lion has ambitions, it is more promising to mix with the Golden Lion. Now that Golden Lion has just come back, it is wreaking havoc everywhere, and it is still targeting Marine. Compared with Golden Lion, Whitebeard is really too timid, he compromises with Marine everywhere and keeps a safe distance. Therefore, as soon as Golden Lion came back, he immediately became a popular figure. But where is the Golden Lion now? Not only the pirates and Marines are looking for the Golden Lion, but even the Golden Lion's subordinates are also looking for the Golden Lion. Golden Lion has not joined them since his comeback. However, at this very moment, the Golden Lion is on board the Moby Dick. Thought you were dead. Whitebeard to the Golden Lion aboard the Moby Dick. The Golden Lion hasn't shown up in the past 2 years, and some of the Golden Lion's subordinates actually want to join Whitebeard. Whitebeard, being an addicted dad, naturally accepted it all. Now that the Golden Lion is back, those old Golden Lions who have gone to Whitebeard are scared. They are the ones who know the Golden Lion's character, and any betrayal will not end well. I won't die until I kill that bastard Victor. Golden Lion's hatred for Victor can be described as deep-rooted. Not just because Victor beat him and captured him alive. In addition, there is Roger's death. Roger died in East Blue, the weakest sea. The Golden Lion cannot accept Roger's exit. He thought it was Victor who made him lose Roger as an opponent. Moreover, Roger still has the secret of ancient weapon. Now, with Roger's death, Golden Lion not only lost his opponent, but also lost his ancient weapon. All the unwillingness was intertwined, and the monstrous killing intent made it impossible for Golden Lion to hide when Victor's name was mentioned. Whitebeard looked at the Golden Lion and said, "You're going to get into big trouble if you take revenge on Marine like this." Golden Lion snorted coldly and said, "So what's the trouble? Anyway, I don't feel good about it and they don't think about it. I'm going to send those damn bastards to hell and let them say hello to Roger for me." Whitebeard sighed and didn't continue to dissuade. He knew that it would be useless to persuade him. As for the Whitebeard pirates, as long as they keep their affairs up high and stay away from the disputes between the two sides, it will be fine. Okay, now that this matter has been decided, I'll go and arrange the next thing first, Golden Lion said to Whitebeard. Whitebeard nodded, understanding. The Whitebeard pirates are one of the 4 major forces in the New World, and their existence is a trouble in itself. Now, the Golden Lion is back, which is actually a good thing for the White Group. Golden Lion flew into the sky and disappeared. At this time, Marco came to Whitebeard and asked in confusion, "Dad, what is Golden Lion going to do? We have been monitored by Marine. If he came to us, Marine will definitely strengthen the surveillance." Whitebeard replied, "His heart is like a mirror now. Golden Lion wants to draw attention to Whitebeard." Whitebeard wasn't willing to cooperate either. FY number 8L equals so, Whitebeard decided to hide with his sons. Because of the Golden Lion, Victor hasn't been back to the villa for many days. In the courtyard of the villa, Hancock and Lucci are discussing gymnastics.
Although Hancock is a girl, she is not inferior to men in terms of skill, strength and speed.
Facing the continuous whip kicks, Lucci retreated steadily. Hancock did not give up, and kept chasing after him. After 2 hours have passed, "Wow, back." Lucci was forced to the corner and suddenly shouted. Hancock was taken aback, and when he and she were taken aback, Lucci launched a sneak attack. A sidekick hit her in the stomach, trying to kick her to the ground. Hancock, however, has nothing to do with it. Hancock actually raised his knee and blocked the kick. HMPH, it's really good, Lucci was surprised. Hancock rushed forward with a stride, punching Lucci on the head with his fist. Lucci leaned back and avoided this move. Hancock kicked out again, and Lucci dodged again, but at this moment, Lucci felt a sudden sharp pain in his ankle. Hancock's feet are so hard, it's like a steel plate. Okay, it's over. At this time, Victor's voice came to everyone's ears, bringing them back to their senses, and they looked at Victor with awe in their eyes. "Lord Victor," everyone said in unison, their voices were uniform, without the slightest sloppiness. Victor waved his hand, indicating that there is no need to be too polite, and then continued. "Your training tasks today are completed. I will give you the highest score based on the tasks you completed, and then award you the rewards. Your cultivation has also reached the bottleneck state. As long as you work hard, you will soon be able to break through the shackles and reach a higher level. However, you still need to continue to work hard, because here with us, there is no limit to cultivation. Only the higher you go, the more difficult it is to cultivate. What you have to do is to keep moving forward and constantly improve yourself." After hearing Victor's words, everyone nodded to express their understanding. "Next, Connor will arrange tasks for you." After finishing speaking, Victor looked at Connor beside him, and then left. And everyone looked at Connor, waiting for the task Connor said. After a while, Connor said, "Everyone, let me explain the task specifications and related matters to you." Victor called Robin into the office while Hancock and Lucci were listening to the mission. Robin is getting better and better. Although his body skills are still average, they are much better than in the original plot. However, what Victor cares about is not Robin's strength, but her ability to handle affairs. So, Victor said to Robin, "I need you to do one thing. Tell everyone that ancient weapon exists in the capital of 7 waters." Robin tilted his head, thinking about Victor's words. To tell everyone? How should she announce this matter? Do you want to shout on the street with a loudspeaker, or is it posting notices all over the street? This is a problem for you, you have to learn to solve it. Victor stroked Robin's head. He believed that with Robin's ingenuity, he could solve this matter. Robin thought about it, then nodded. She'll figure it out. "Well, Felix will help you too," Victor said to Robin. "Yeah." Robin turned to leave. Felix Rear Admiral is a solid guy, Robin thinks so. After Robin left the study, he found Felix. Felix has stayed with Robin all these years, and his job is to protect Robin. Of course, you can also take the opportunity to practice with Victor. Without work, coupled with the development of devil fruit, the effect of Felix's practice is very obvious. In terms of strength, even against Huishaoshan, Ghost Spider and others, Felix can fight. "Felix." At this time, Robin shouted in the yard. Then, a figure fell from the second floor. It was Felix. Felix was wearing a military uniform with a knife at his waist. Is something wrong? Felix asked Robin. Robin said, I want to go to the capital of Seven Waters. Does Lord Victor know about this? Felix asked with a frown. It's Felix's job to take care of Robin and keep her safe. Unlike the others, Felix knows Robin's identity. Robin's identity is very special and sensitive. In Felix's view, it's better not to appear in the public eye as much as possible. Master Victor has arranged a mission for me, and I need to go to the capital of Seven Waters. Robin said to Felix. Really? Felix thought for a moment. He knew Robin wouldn't lie to him. According to his observation of Robin these years, Robin is a good boy. Then let's go. Felix then turned into a vulture-eating ape and flew Robin into the sky. Sister, where is Robin going? Sandersonia asked Hancock. Hancock shook his head. I don't know. It's time to go on a secret mission. At this time, Victor came to them, patted the heads of the three of them and said, What? The three of Hancock were taken aback when they heard this. Lucci not far away also frowned slightly. If you want to carry out a secret mission, then he is the most suitable candidate. Why didn't Lord Victor send them? Just when the three were puzzled, Victor said, You still have a lot to learn. Could it be that we can't be alone? Hancock was a little upset. Children, there is always a competitive spirit. There will be opportunities in the future. Victor smiled and left. I'll prove myself, Hancock said with a pout. Robin was walking in the capital of Seven Waters, and both she and Felix changed into casual clothes. The two of them walked down the street like tourists. Because of Felix, Robin went to many places, including bars, hotels, casinos and so on. Felix was with her. Robin is like a curious baby, listening to people talking about something. For example, a certain pirate group was arrested by Marine. For example, which fortress in Marine was attacked by pirates? Or a riot in any country. In short, the more confined the place, the more explosive the content of the chat. Among them are complaints about world government. We civilians can't even decide our own destiny. Yeah. Look at me, I can't even find a wife, and now I have nothing. Oh. I wish this kind of life would end soon. Robin listened all day and heard a lot of interesting things. This is the intelligence gathering class. Robin thought for a while, then looked at Felix and said, Felix, why did Master Victor choose the capital of Seven Waters? Felix thought for a while and said, Master Victor will never do things that are not sure, since he will let you come to the capital of Seven Waters, it means. Before Felix could finish speaking, Robin smiled and said, It means that the ancient weapon may be in the capital of Seven Waters. Yeah. Felix nodded, agreeing with Robin. So what are you going to do? Felix asked Robin. Robin thought for a while and said, This is a highly confidential matter. If you tell it directly, no one may believe it. Felix thought it made sense. Robin went on to say, Agents from the world government are also looking for ancient weapons, and we can use them. Felix smiled slightly and said, It's all up to you. Robin asked Felix to find Marine and asked Marine to pretend to be an agent of the world government. Agents in black suits moved in a hurry. The appearance of these people naturally attracted the attention of the public.
What are world government agents doing? Look carefully, you must find that thing.
If it falls into the hands of pirates, it will be dangerous. The information that the fake agents inadvertently leaked was quickly obtained by interested people.
Soon, the intelligence network in the underground world began to spread the news.
New world. There are several unknown islands floating in the sky. There are several palaces on the island, and around the palaces are people who are working. These people were all arrested. Under the surveillance of the flying pirates, they worked day and night. At this time, Golden Lion's subordinates just got a piece of news. Boss, there is news about ancient weapon. A pirate came to the side of the Golden Lion. This pirate is called Grace, and he recently joined the Golden Lion. At this moment, Golden Lion is reading a newspaper.
What news? Golden Lion asked casually.
Grace replied, It's about ancient weapon. Ancient weapon? Golden Lion froze for a moment. The Golden Lion has always wanted the ancient weapon. Not only the Golden Lion, most of the members of the Rock's pirate group want to get the ancient weapon. Because you can become the king of the world if you get the ancient weapon. At least they think so. What about the reliability of the news? Golden Lion asked with a frown. Agents from the world government have appeared in the capital of Seven Waters. They are looking for an important thing. Grace replied. After hearing Grace's answer, Golden Lion narrowed his eyes and said, in this case, it might be true. Although Golden Lion only wants to take revenge on Marine at the moment, it doesn't affect his acquisition of ancient weapon. If you can get the ancient weapon, you can kill all the Marines. Let's go, the capital of Seven Waters. Golden Lion grinned grinningly. Victor deliberately released the ancient weapon in the capital of Seven Waters, and its real purpose was to attract the Golden Lion. Now the Golden Lion wants revenge. However, if the ancient weapon can be obtained, the matter of revenge can be postponed. Victor took the Golden Lion's psychology into account. Therefore, he prepared to set up a trap in the capital of Seven Waters, waiting for the Golden Lion to appear again. Marineford, Naval Headquarters. Marshal's office. Look at it, Sora reported Victor's tactics of capturing the Golden Lion to Sora in text form. After reading it, Sora found Sengoku again. After reading it, Sengoku said with a serious expression, it's not a good choice to start an operation in the capital of Seven Waters. What Sengoku can think of, Sora can think of. However, the capital of Seven Waters is not only the world's most prestigious shipyard, but also undertakes Marine's large-scale warship manufacturing and maintenance. If Victor sets the capital of Seven Waters as a battlefield, the consequences will be disastrous. If they had known about the battle between monsters earlier, even if ordinary people were affected by the aftermath, it would be a disaster. What's more, the object of arrest is the Golden Lion. With the destructive power of the Golden Lion, it might destroy the capital of Seven Waters. However, if you don't use this method, how can you catch the Golden Lion? At this time, Victor's voice came from outside the door. After hearing Victor's words, both Sora and Sengoku frowned. Don't worry, I'm sure, since I can catch him once, I can catch him a second time. After Victor finished speaking, he turned and left confidently. Both Sora and Sengoku showed worried expressions. The capital of Seven Waters, on the surface it looks calm. In fact, under this tranquility, there was already a turbulent undercurrent. Golden Lion sent people to sneak into the capital of Seven Waters, looking for ancient weapon. After their search for the past few days, they successfully inquired about a piece of information. The blueprint of ancient weapon Pluton is still hidden in the capital of Seven Waters. The news made Golden Lion very excited. Therefore, Golden Lion decided to take all the Seven Water capitals away, and turn the Seven Water capitals over. Kahahaha. Golden Lion's laughter echoed in the air. Arrogant, arrogant, arrogant. The horror conveyed in the laughter makes people shudder. The moment Golden Lion set foot on the capital of Seven Waters, the whole island rumbled. The walls of the buildings in the capital of Seven Waters were cracked, and the floors of the streets were also cracked. The whole island was shaking violently, like the end of the world. It's the Golden Lion. The Golden Lion is here. What is he doing here? The people of the Water City discovered the Golden Lion. The CP9 stationed in the capital of Seven Waters, as well as Marine, charged towards the Golden Lion one after another. Acting in a full set, since we want to search for Pluton design drawings in the capital of Seven Waters, we naturally need more people. Victor arranged for a full 10,000 people. It is equivalent to arranging Buster Call in advance to wait for Golden Lion. Instead of being afraid, Golden Lion firmly believes that the ancient weapon Pluton is in the capital of Seven Waters. Catch him. Marine rushed forward. Seeing this, Golden Lion snorted disdainfully. At this time, the ground cracked, and the stone slabs flew up one after another. Under the control of Golden Lion, the Marines who were in the formation were covered with stone slabs. The pain was so painful that they couldn't even roll on the ground, bleeding. It hurts like hell. Victor watched a team of hundreds of Marines being defeated in an instant, but he was very calm, and said, Lion fruit is really easy to use. So you are here too. At this moment, the Golden Lion roared angrily, and then the Golden Lion rose into the sky. He held Sakura 10 and Deadwood in both hands, pointing at Victor. Golden Lion, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Victor said, taking moonwalk straight to the sky. Trap. The word suddenly appeared in Golden Lion's mind. The Golden Lion swung its two swords in the air, and the sword waves burst out from the swords, piercing the air and attacking Victor. Too fast. Victor was also shocked. Although the Golden Lion had crippled its two legs, its strength was still so strong. However, Victor dodges easily. Save me looking for you. The golden lion sneered, and then swooped down from the air. As the lion swooped down, Vic moved on foot, as if dancing with the wind. The posture is very elegant, hurricane fist. Victor threw a punch at the golden lion. The Titan can control the wind, and the force of the hurricane blasted towards the golden lion under Victor's control. At this time, the golden lion also swung a knife and slashed at Victor. Boom. Janbo and Kuangfeng collided fiercely, and both of them were wrapped in armament hockey. So in this collision, not only was there a piercing friction sound, but sparks were even splashed in the air. However, after this punch, both felt the strength of the other. Do you know? I need to beat you here. In front of the whole world, it's the perfect stage. After Victor finished speaking, he immediately threw hundreds of punches at Golden Lion. Bang, 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 densely packed, like fists of raindrops, because the speed is too fast, most people can only whizzed by the black wind. Golden Lion didn't carry it hard, his body floated backwards like a kite. Thunderblade. At this time, two swords formed by the condensed lightning appeared in Victor's hands. Knife against knife. Immediately, Victor stepped on the wind and rushed towards the Golden Lion. Golden Lion didn't hide either, and confronted him head-on. You are fast, I am faster than you. Under the shadow of sword, light and sword, it is the most brutal and suffocating fight. In the fierce slashing with the two knives, the cheeks of both sides were cut, and the blood flowed profusely. So fast. Felix stared blankly. Felix knew that Victor was very strong, but every time he watched Victor fight, his blood boiled. At the same time, the image bug that had already been installed on the roof of the city hall broadcast the battle between Victor and the Golden Lion to the world. Victor fights the Golden Lion again. Although Victor captured the Golden Lion alive once, but that was only the result. Now Victor wants to show the world what he can do. Let all Marines see who is the strongest Marine. As Victor said, it's a stage, Victor's own stage. Lion. Thousand Slice Valley. Golden Lion instantly unleashed a large number of sword waves, attacking Victor. Victor jumped back. Although Victor avoided it, swaths of houses were cut open. The cut house, like a felled tree, slipped down and collapsed. Pieces of buildings collapsed, causing a very strong visual effect. Make ordinary people truly aware of the mighty Yamato horror of the Golden Lion. Lion Majesty Earth Coiling. Golden Lion missed a blow, and the famous sword in his hand swung towards the ground, and thousands of houses and thousands of meters of ground floated up. The entire capital of Seven Waters seemed to be hit by the doomsday. The people screamed and wailed, and fled in all directions.